My name is Anka Costa. I'm part of the international team of Tilburg University. I'm a former international Tilburg University myself, originally from Romania. So I graduated my master's here in 2017 at Tilburg University. And as of then, I've been working as an international recruiter for the university. So today we are going to showcase Tilburg University. We're going to talk about the city of Tilburg, the bachelor's and master's programs that we offer here at Tilburg University. Of course, that we will also discuss some admission and application procedures and just like some useful pieces of information about that. Then we're going to talk about some financial matters as well. Think about monthly living costs or a tuition fee, for example. And at the end, we're not going to have a Q&A, but if you do have any questions, also to those of you who are maybe joining online, you can post them in the chat and we will tackle them at the end. Otherwise, for any questions that you have in the future, you are more than welcome to send us an email. If you go to the Tilburg University website, then you will find a contact form pretty much everywhere. So Dutch universities in general, but also Tilburg University, these are very approachable universities. So if you do have questions, don't feel shy. There are people that are actually paid to answer student questions. So you can already maybe get a bit into the Dutch culture by asking these questions. I think it's a nice exercise. So about the university, we are located in the city of Tilburg, as you will see it right there on your screen. It's in this, very close to the Belgian border. It's in this area called the Brainport. This area right there, that circle that you see, it's also known as the Silicon Valley of Europe. And this is because this area registers every year the highest number of patents filed. And it's also due to the universities that do research in the area, such as Tilburg University and Eindhoven University of Technology, and also due to the tech companies that have their offices in the area. Think about, for example, Philips or Tesla, for just to give you a few instances. It's very easy to travel from Tilburg to other cities in the Netherlands. So think about by train from Tilburg to Amsterdam, you will spend around 1 hour and 15 minutes by train, for example. It's also easy to travel around Europe from the Netherlands. So you can get it to Brussels in 1 hour and a half by car from Tilburg. The plane from Amsterdam to London is under 1 hour. So quite easy to travel, maybe though in better times. So outside COVID, of course. So the city is a medium-sized city. Tilburg is the 7th largest city in the Netherlands, and it has a bit over 200,000 inhabitants, out of which 28,000 are students. So actually the student of the city of Tilburg is a student city, and it has one of the highest ratios in the country in that regard. So in terms of the rate of students per the general population. So very nice city, very international as well, with lots of students coming from all around the world. Now, why do students generally choose Tilburg University? We're not going to delve too much into these details. I would rather talk to you about the programs that we offer and some practicalities as well. But maybe what I would like to showcase is the specific of the university. And this is the strong focus on global issues. So Tilburg University is a university oriented towards society, but that's not only underlined in a motto, that's actually underlined in every single program that you would study. So regardless if you study a psychology program or a public administration program or a business program and an economics program, an artificial intelligence program, a law program, and so on, you will always approach societal issues in the classroom, and you will try to find solutions for them and look critically at them from different points of view, from an international point of view as well. So you don't have to necessarily study a social sciences program in order to approach societal issues. You can even study a data science program and use that knowledge, use the mathematical models, use the data analytics in order to discover, point out these issues and find solutions for them. So this is really the specific of Tilburg University, this strong focus on global issues. Then we also have a green campus. So all pictures that you see here in this presentation are taken on our campus. Tilburg University is one of the few universities in the Netherlands that has a compact campus. So that means that you don't have to travel around the city in order to get to classes. All facilities are in one place on our beautiful campus. You can actually go on our website and you can see some drone footage, for example, to see how beautiful it is. And we are located next to a beautiful forest. It's a very green environment. And I can say from a personal experience that this was one of my favorite parts of studying there. There are also lots of opportunities for extracurricular activities. You can be part of study associations, student associations. You can also be part of more like professional associations. So if you want to practice your economic skills, for example, there's an association of economics students. It's called ASSET. But then you can also be part of, let's say, more fun student associations that organize all sorts of social events. You can be part of drama clubs, debate clubs, sport associations as well. In talking about sports, so there is a sports center very close to the university, which is fully equipped. So from fitness facilities, you can also play football or basketball, squash. You can take swimming classes, horse riding classes. There are tennis fields as well. Just sauna facilities, of self-defense classes. So it's really a fully equipped sports center, especially for those of you who are into sport and who would like to know whether there are facilities that you can benefit from. Then there's also a career center on campus that organizes all sorts of professional events throughout the year. But you can also schedule appointments with our colleagues from the career center. If, for example, you would like to rebuild your CV, or if you would like to get recommendations about how to submit job applications for Dutch companies, for example. So there are lots of, let's just say, mechanisms in place to help with your transition. Now, Tilburg University is an international university. So we have a bit over 20,000 students in total. And out of those, more than 4,000 students are internationals coming from really all around the world. So this year at Tilburg University, we have more than 110 nationalities being enrolled in the university. From countries coming from all around the world. And also almost half of our professors are also international. So you're going to find a very nice mix here of cultural backgrounds and mentalities, languages, accent, and skills as well. So it's a very nice environment to live in. Then we also have partners around the world. So especially for those of you who are interested in studying a bachelor's program at Tilburg University, you should know that you can go on exchange in your third semester for most of our programs. So if you're studying economics, for example, then you can go on exchange for one semester pretty much all around Europe, but also the United States, Latin America, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, China. We have partner universities in Taiwan as well. Canada, you name it. For example, the Tilburg School of Economics and Management has more than 120 partners around the world. So that's a really nice option as well for international students to go take the extra mile within their international education. Now, in terms of rankings and accreditation, Tilburg University is a specialized university. So therefore, we are ranked according to the research fields that we offer here at the university. So these are just a couple of examples of our rankings. But if you are interested in in-depth information about how we rank in a specific field, then you can find that very well detailed on our website. But briefly put, we are ranked as best 250 universities in the world. So that's top 2% universities in the world. And in terms of the specific ranking, so Times Higher Education, for example, positions us as number 28 in the world in law, whereas Shanghai Global Rankings positions us as number 17 in the world in business administration. QS Rankings places Tilburg University as number 28 in the world in economics and econometrics, whereas in the Netherlands, we occupy the first position in that regard. So if you're interested in more information, you can find them on our website. About the programs that we offer at the university, we of course don't have time to go to the specifics of all of them, but I will present you the overview of the programs that we offer here. So you should know that all the programs that we will discuss about today, both bachelor's and master's programs, they are taught in English. That means that your entire academic experience will be in English. So you don't have to worry about not speaking Dutch. I've been living here for a couple of years and I don't speak Dutch yet. Well, that's not something to be proud of necessarily, but my point is, you don't need to speak Dutch in order to study or live here, because your entire academic experience will be in English. So there's really no language barrier. The Netherlands has one of the highest English proficiencies in the world, and the university is an international one. So as long as you are fluent in English, you don't have to be anxious about not speaking Dutch, but you can take free Dutch classes at the university if you want, because you get some free language vouchers. So maybe that's a good point to know. So the classes are multicultural, as I mentioned, within the international environment. There is an interactive teaching with a mix of lectures and tutorials. That means that you can attend lectures with, let's say, 200 students, and generally in lectures, you set the theoretical frame of a particular topic, and then you have tutorials where you share the class with a smaller number of students and you go more in depth into the matter. And Tilburg University has a, let's say, study model that's very much based on independent study as well. So that means that you don't just go to class and you take notes. So you have to prepare for a class before you take the class, so that you already know the topic, so that you can actively contribute to the conversation in the class. And then most likely after the class, you will have to go to the library to work on, presentations, lots of group projects as well, study for midterms, and whatnot. So you can expect a good time that you have to spend individually by studying as well. So not just by taking notes in the class. Now, this is an overview of our bachelor's programs. So as you can see on your screen, we offer bachelor's programs that take 3 years to complete, all of these programs here in the field of business. So we have 2 business programs, our international business administration program, and also our entrepreneurship and business innovation program. Both of them are business programs, however, with a bit of a different focus, of course, as if you study entrepreneurship, then you will focus on the entrepreneurial side of a business. And this is actually the only English taught entrepreneurship program offered in the Netherlands at a research university level. And it's the same for our economics program. So this is the only English taught purely economics program offered by a research university in the Netherlands that's taught in English. Then we also have more technical programs such as cognitive science, artificial intelligence, or data science, which is close to a computer science degree. And it's actually a joint program together with Eindhoven University of Technology. And for those of you who really like mathematics, then we also have a program that's called Econometrics and Operations Research, which is very much based on mathematics and statistics and whatnot. And we also have a transnational law degree. It's called Global Law. We also have a communication degree that's called Online Culture, Art, Media, and Society. So for those of you who are passionate about globalization, about the impacts of social media into the society, for example. And for those of you who'd like to study religion and the Latin and Greek language and whatnot, then there's a bachelor's in theology. We also offer programs in the fields of social sciences, such as psychology, for example, or human resource studies, or international sociology, or global management of social issues, where you get more of a combination between social sciences, but from a policy perspective as well. And lastly, we offer a University College Tilburg that offers a liberal arts and sciences degree. And this is the type of, let's say, the American education. That means that in the first year of a university college degree, you study a multitude of classes from different academic fields, and then you will specialize in your second year. You can go either towards business or law or cognitive neuropsychology, for example, or humanities. So especially for those of you who are not sure what they want to study, this might be a very good option because you have 1 year to explore your options. Now about the master's programs, the same information about the English part applies. So they are completely taught in English and they generally take 1 year, but you can extend your master for some of the programs that we offer, and we're going to talk about that as well. So we have more than 60 programs, 60 tracks at Tilburg University, and I'm just going to present you the overview of them. So as you can see, we offer programs in the fields of business and management, such as accountancy, for example, or marketing analytics, strategic management. We also offer more mathematical-based, more quantitative programs in fields such as economics and econometrics. Think about quantitative finance and actuarial science, for example. Also, our programs in communication, digital sciences, cultures, and philosophy. So these are generally the Master of Arts, all sorts of philosophy degrees, but also health humanities, new media design, business communication, and digital media. So for those of you who are passionate about combining communication with a business perspective. Our programs in law and public administration. Our students specialize in all sorts of directions in law during their master's program. You can specialize in European law, for instance, or in business tax law, or law and technology, if you're passionate about cybercrime and IP protection and whatnot. And you can also study public administration here. Our social and behavioral sciences master's programs, all sorts of specializations within the psychology field. So think about economic psychology or cognitive neuropsychology, human resource specializations as well, sociology specializations, health, well-being and society, positive psychology too. So a wide variety of options there. And in terms of data science programs, so more close to computer science programs and artificial intelligence one, then we offer 4 master's programs in that regard, either data science and entrepreneurship, which actually takes 2 years to complete because it's a joint degree with Eindhoven University of Technology, or business analytics and operations research, which is a very quantitative program. And lastly, our master in Christianity and theology. Now, for those students who study a social sciences master's degree or a business degree, then you can extend your master's with either 1 year or half a year by either doing another semester at a partner university, where we are part of the very prestigious QTEM network, which is a network of some of the best universities in the world in terms of finance and economics and sort of these academic fields. Or you can, example, do for 6 months a traineeship at a private company, which will top up your master. So these options, you can find them on our webpage, but it's good to know that you can extend it. Now, after your graduation, so either from a bachelor or a master program, you can apply for an orientation visa, and that generally it's a 1-year visa where you get full working rights, full residency work rights, and this is your year to find a job and to get employed. So this is why we call it an orientation visa, and it's the type of visa that students that graduate from a Dutch university, any Dutch university can access. About application and admission, so for the bachelor programs, we accept most of the international diplomas. So think about the international bac diploma or the European bac diploma, or if you're studying at a British school, then we accept the GCSE A-levels diploma, or for example, if you're studying an American curriculum, then we accept the high school diploma plus at least 4 APs. And a list of most commonly accepted diplomas you can find on our website. But what you should know is that most of the non-European Union diplomas do not give direct access to the university. So that means that if your diploma is not included on our list of most accepted diplomas, which you can find on our website, then most likely a foundation year will be necessary. We're going to talk about that. On top of that, you will need to submit an English proficiency test. This is mandatory for everybody who is not a native speaker. And we accept IELTS, TOEFL, or Cambridge. And there are some math requirements as well. So you should expect that if you want to study econometrics, which is a program very much based on mathematics, then you need to have a high level of mathematics. Whereas if you want to study business, then that's a standard level of mathematics. And talking about the foundation year, so if your diploma does not give you direct access to our university, then you have 3 options. You can either do the foundation year at the Holland International Study Center in Amsterdam. So if you do this foundation year for 1 year, then you are directly accepted into the university. Or alternatively, you have to finish a year of university either in Taiwan, for example, or at the University of Applied Sciences in the Netherlands. And pass all the classes offered in the first year, and that will be considered a foundation year. Now, for our master's programs, in order to get accepted, you need a relevant bachelor's diploma. So the logic is quite simple, actually. If you want to study a law master's degree, then you need a law bachelor's degree. If you want to study a economics master degree, then you need a bachelor's degree with a strong foundation in economics. That's pretty much how it goes. On top of that, you will need to submit an English proficiency test. Again, the tests that we accept are on your screen, and you can find it on our website as well. And for those of you who would like to study a business program and an economics program, then either a GRE or a GMAT test will be mandatory. And yeah, you can submit your application without the GRE test or the GMAT test, but if you do get conditionally accepted, then you will need to pass that test and send us the results before you actually start your studies. But you can submit your application without it. The rest of the application items are mandatory, and they're quite general, so quite the same as you would do for any other university. So you need to submit a list of your grades, a copy of your passport, your diploma. For some programs, you need to submit a CV and a motivation letters. For others, you will need to submit an essay, for example. For others, so for the entrepreneurship program, for example, you will need to interview a current entrepreneur and then write an essay about it. So it really depends per program. But every single program at Tilburg University has a separate application and admission webpage where you will find all these details. The application at Tilburg University is free of charge and quite straightforward. You need to register in StudiaLink, which is the governmental platform of the Netherlands, the registration platform. And since you're attending this event, you likely already know about it. And then you have to submit your application in our application system, which is called Osiris. And the application deadlines, you will see them on your screen. So for our bachelor's programs, the application deadline is April 1st, with the exception of psychology, which is a numerus fixus program, and there is an online entry exam that you need to pass. And for that one is January 15th. Whereas for our master's, generally the application deadline for the September intake is April 1st, and for the February intake is October 1st. And lastly, in the last minute, I'm going to talk about costs. So tuition fees. In the Netherlands, the tuition fees are decided by the Dutch government. So if you hold an EU nationality, you will pay around 2,000 euros per year. And if you hold a non-EU nationality, then you can expect around 9,000 euros for a bachelor's program and about 15,000 euros for a master's program. And the estimated cost of living is about 800 euros to 1,200 euros. So on average, an accommodation option can be around 350 euros to 700 euros, food, drinks and transportation, about 300 euros, medical insurance, which is mandatory, books and readers. So you can count on about, again, like 1,000 euros just on average. And in terms of unique costs, then you have to pay your unique visa cost, which is 192 euros, and the university will take care of the visa procedure for you. So of course that you will need to provide some useful documents for the visa, but the Dutch universities do manage the immigration process for you. So this is maybe a good information there to know about. And I think that was pretty much it from my side. Oh, we can, lastly about housing. So very important, if you want to study in the Netherlands at Tilburg University or another Dutch university, start looking for housing in time. This is my warm advice for you as a former international student myself. Do not wait until June to look for housing. Somewhere in April, May, already actively look into your options. And there's an advantage of applying earlier, way before the deadline, and that is that you will have more options for accommodation. So for example, the dorms registrations happen somewhere in the spring, in the beginning of May, mid-May, but you have to be accepted in order to apply for a dorm. So if you apply in time, if you apply earlier, then you will have more chances to find a dorm as well. So this would be the only advantage, let's say, of applying in time. And of course that you will have more time to take care of visa procedures and practicalities in general. If you want to know information about our housing options, then you can go to our webpage and you'll find there an overview of the dorms available, an overview also of your options out there in the private market. And there's also a housing office that can assist you with that. In terms of scholarships, so we only offer scholarships for master's programs. Generally, there's not much to count on, but these would be your options. So if you're coming from a partner university, and you can find our partner universities list on our website, then you get a reduction in 25% tuition fee. If you're doing a research master scholarship, then you pay the European Union tuition fee, so about 2,000 euros. And there are also some scholarships available for non-EU students, such as the Orange Tulip Scholarship, for example. So you can check our website to see what options are there for you. Please mind that generally scholarships have earlier application deadlines, so you'll need to apply a bit earlier. And that was my presentation. Please stay in touch with us. We have all sorts of virtual events organized throughout the year. And maybe for those of you who are interested in master's program, Next Saturday, November 20th, we are going to host our virtual Masters Open Day. The registration is free of charge, and it's a really good event if you want to see differences between programs, if you want to talk to current professors of a program or current students. There will be admission sessions organized for students as well. So yeah, you are more than welcome to attend. Much for having me and for your students for paying attention to the presentation. And yeah, good luck with the rest of your events. And again, don't feel shy, ask your questions. It will really be an introduction to the Dutch culture and mentality to just break the ice a bit. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your session.